They can wait a little bit.
Wait, give me 1 second, Pat.
Alrighty, Will. You're good. Do your thing. All right, boom. Let them get in here. And yeah. Shut up. This is gonna be a good episode.
Are you live?
Yep. Yeah.
What's his name? Start the
Hold on. All right.
And I gotta pull it up.
Boom. All right, bro. You ready?
Yeah,
Jay, you ready?
Yeah, I'm good to go.
All right, here we go, man.
The dash busy, the schedule busy. My head in a hoodie, my shorty a goodie. My cousins are crazy, my cousins like boogie. Life is amazing, it is what it should be. Been here for 10, but I feel like a rookie. I tell her look up, cause it's snowing in Tussies. Booked for 3 years, now you can't even book me. Me and Lil Baby, the shit going crazy. Weezy producer.
What to do, everybody? It's the 18th episode of Gun Overthinking Podcast, starring me, Youngin Head, and
Patrick Haynes.
And we got a special guest in the building, Andre Kelly. How you doing tonight, man?
I'm good. Thank you for having me on.
Oh, yeah. Yes, sir, man. Hey, Pat, let them know what we getting in tonight.
I don't know where this is going to go. You know what I mean? I got a lot of questions to ask Andre right now. I'm super excited to have him here. I can't believe it. You know what I mean? Can I fan out on the podcast or no? I don't think that's cool. I'm going to stay up. You know what I mean? Got to do the thing. Got to introduce the guests. You know, because when I let them do it, they're a little too humble. So here we go. Right? This is 100% the biggest guest we have had on the show so far, both figuratively and literally. Right? This man is the owner of Tyson, the puppy, extremely talented basketball player, all around nice guy, man. We got Andre Kelly on the show. You know what I'm saying? Anything I missed out? Anything I left out?
No, you got it all.
Got it all.
Pretty good. You got the dog in there. I was a little surprised with that one, but glad you got him.
There you go, man. Hey, man. So off the rip, I gotta ask you, bro. Let's get right into it. What's one thing you wish you knew before you got to college?
One thing I wish I knew before I got to college. There's not too much. I think for the most part, I knew. I'm trying to think like something I knew. I think that I built it up to something like it was so big in my head. Like going to college, like coming out of high school, I was like, you know, you see it in the movies, like the parties and like the games and everything. Like all that stuff, but it's not. It was for me. It was cool, but I just thought it was like I thought I was gonna be like I'm on the basketball team, like lucky kind of famous around like camps and stuff like that. But it's not like that. Like it's just like you're just a normal person. So I kind of thought it'd be a little more like that, but it was pretty chill for the most part.
Okay. Question: what was it like growing up in Stockton? Did you grow up in Stockton for the majority of your life, or how was like your childhood moving around?
I was born in San Francisco actually, and then I moved to Stockton probably when I was like 1 or 2, and then so then my parents are split. So right now my mom's down in San Jose, and I got a lot of family in the Bay. So I've always kind of been like back and forth with the Bay and Stockton.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then now I'm out in Berkeley, and so I'm back out there and stuff like that.
Okay,
Stockton's my home. I was raised here and everything, so.
Thank you for that. Right? How you feel about the city? How you feel about
I like Stockton, honestly. Yeah, I come home a lot, so like people are like, "Why you go to Stockton? Like, there's not much out there." And it's like it's funny because people ask me like, "Well, what do you do in Stockton?" I'm like, "We got like a mall and a movie theater, and like every city has that, So I'm just kind of trying to think of like stuff to like really specify to like Stockton, I guess you have the ports and like a little hockey team, but I haven't been to those games.
Yeah. I love the city pride, right? But I wasn't talking about that city. I was talking about San Francisco, right?
Oh, okay, SF. SF's cool. It's like I feel like I've been there so much. It's not even like nothing touristy to me. Like I'd be like I'm there all the time now, so I'm not really like shocked by it. So I'm just like I'm always there. Like I can see people who aren't from NorCal being like MSF, but me, I'm just like I just SF.
I feel it, man, because we got into it a couple days ago on the podcast, man. They know how I feel about SF.
You like SF?
No, SF is.
Man, why not?
I work in the city, right?
Where you work at?
I work at Catawba.
Okay.
On Mission to 16. Do you know where that is or no?
No, I have no idea.
I probably shouldn't have said where I worked at, but it's okay. You know what I mean? Sorry out there, right? The mission gets crazy. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Being in the mission is insane, and that's where I'm gonna leave that at. But yeah, man, we got a question in the chat from that's Pops. Said, ask Andre how he feels about the new image and licensing deal.
That's a good question.
How do you feel about that, man?
I like it. The like being able to benefit off of like name, image, and likeness.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's really cool and stuff like that. Because for the longest time, you know, it's like I didn't have like accessibility to like just like normal things that other people could do. Kind of like if I want to start a YouTube channel, which literally anybody else can do, it's like you can't even start a YouTube channel because if it gets big, it's like profiting off your name or your likeness. You can't even have your own brand, like certain things like that. So I think now like by being able to have like your own brand and stuff like that, it's definitely like giving more power to the athletes and stuff like that, which I think is good because we do a lot, like honestly, and just being able to like you should be able to benefit off what you do. Like it shouldn't be that someone else is completely in control of like your name, like your image, your likeness. Like you should be able to benefit off that because you are the one. Like the NCAA is not out there like making shots for you or the one playing. It's like you're the one doing it, so you should be able to reap some of the benefit.
Man, right, once you get to that point, bro, it's hard to get there, bro.
Yeah.
Like, at that point, you pretty much a professional, right?
So yeah,
the schedule was crazy.
Yeah, close to for sure. And then like they just making millions and billions of dollars off of like all these athletes that come through. Then they go to the league and now they get to make their money. A lot of these players that come out, you feel me, that go to college and stuff like that are already like they're good and stuff like that. They need that money. They need the opportunity to make that so they can take care of their family because not everybody's coming from a fortunate household.
Yeah, that's very true too.
Real talk. Speaking about college, like what are you majoring in right now?
I'm a legal studies major, so I'm taking I like to like write. I like it a lot better than like math and stuff like that. So plus I want to be like a sports agent after I'm done with my professional career. So I think that was like the way to go for me. Like I know they're telling me people say like being a sports agent, it's a lot of legal work in terms of like drawing up contracts, like reading stuff, all that stuff. So I just thought it'd be a good major for me. Plus I kind of like I enjoy learning about that stuff. So it was right on my alley, and I thought that'd be a good major for me.
Okay, for sure. So the goal is to get to the league, or what's your overall goal?
Yeah, that's my goal, to get to the league. Honestly, I don't want to do nothing else. I mean, overseas would be cool. I feel like I definitely got to get to the league. That's my main goal. Like, ever since I was a child, you know, I don't think anyone never heard a kid dream of like growing up going overseas. It's like you want to grow up and get to the league.
It's an alternative route, though. I mean, like
definitely there's alternative routes. Like so. That's my goal is to get there. But I kind of want to, I think it'd be dope no matter what at the end of the day, because I know there's some dope spots overseas like Spain, London. I know there's some like great leagues out there too. I do want to like travel, see the world, you know, like live in a different city, experience different cultures and stuff like that. So I think that'd be cool if I ended up, you know, having to go out there for a little while. I think that would definitely be dope.
Okay. So how's your college career been in basketball so far? Like, do you feel satisfied with it? I mean, like, never be satisfied, but like, how do you feel about your college career so far?
Personally, I feel good. My freshman year, I got off to like a hard start and stuff like that. And the only thing I'd say is I just want to like win more, which is like a team aspect. But besides that, I think it's been good. I like my coaches. I have some great teammates. I made some lifelong friends with them. So this is good, and then just keep getting better every year. So far I've been doing that, just keep getting better. I think I'm in a good position right now. Going into my senior year, so I can't really complain. Just keep working, and hopefully I can get to where I want to go.
So what we saying is, you telling us like without actually saying it, expecting a big year out of you this year.
That's my goal. Yeah, I've been working. I think I had 3 good years, solid years. You know, every year, my freshman year was my freshman year now, so I was kind of feeling it out. Then we got a new coach my sophomore year. Mm-hmm. So, learning a new system, learning a new coach. Then my junior year, COVID happened. So every
Right.
year had its own little obstacles. You know, my senior year, I feel like I'm going into it smooth, like no new coach, no nothing, no COVID. You know, fans are back, and I'm ready to. I feel like it should be a good year.
Speaking about COVID, how did you deal with that? How did you handle that?
Honestly, it was tough. You know, when it first hit, I don't think anyone really knew what to do. You know, everything just stopped for a sec. Like, there's no basketball, no football, no baseball, nothing. You were watching on TV. I was trying to get into gyms and like couldn't even go to like high school gym, no indoor gym. So me and a couple of my buddies, Zeke, he was one of them. We go like some of the parks out here and just kind of work out there for a little bit, and then I have like some weightlifting stuff in my garage, a treadmill, jump rope, just doing those things. So I was just trying to stay in shape like that way, just running the treadmill, like lifting the weights I had here, jumping rope, you know, doing what I could do, just stay in like the best kind of shape I could, and just stay like doing stuff on the daily. And I think really the days felt so long to me because there was nothing to do. Like I would wake up at 8, it was like it's the whole day. Like you're not going to class, you're not going to practice, you don't have a job, you know. So it was just like I think that was like one of the biggest things was me trying to figure out what to do with the day. I was working out like twice a day. Like, I gotta wake up, probably eat, you know, work out, and then work out again in the afternoon. But between that gap from like 12 to 4, 12 to 5, when I didn't work out, it was just like just sitting there doing nothing. So that was hard. It's like not having much to do. So I think there were definitely some positives I think that came from it. I think I got in like a little better shape and got a little stronger, just, you know, working out twice a day. And when I was bored, I would kind of just be like, hey, let's go to the park and shoot, or like, let's just go, you know, work out. So that was really like one of the main things I could do. So I kind of just took to that and really worked.
Nice, man.
Okay.
I get what you're saying with the long days too, because you can only work out so many times.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right. So you find yourself doing weird stuff like, oh man, reading a book here,
and like doing like GTA 5 on the PS, like I haven't even played that in years. doing whatever.
Yeah, man.
But you gotta go ahead.
What's the biggest lesson life has taught you so far, man?
Honestly, I think going.
How old are you before you answer that?
21.
21. Nice.
Yeah, I think so far. I think I don't know if it's so much as a lesson. One thing I think I've definitely learned throughout life is kind of just I used to have my life like so like planned, like everything like kind of like to the specific detail. You know, like the college I want to go to, like how I'm gonna do this. Like, I'm gonna go to college, do this year 1, do this year 2, do this year 3, and and just have everything so like kind of like planned out in such a specific way that I think like I kind of just gotta go with the flow. Like things are gonna happen in life that you can't really like. I don't plan too far ahead anymore. Like I plan ahead, but I just kind of like see where things go in a way. Because it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to just specific. See, I don't even know. Like I don't think anyone anticipated COVID. So like that's just an example of like you never know what could happen like tomorrow or the next day. So I really I think I try to take every day like just maximize each day and I get the most that I can out of that one day. And I think like for example, instead of thinking like I want to go to the NBA, right? I'll think of that as like a goal that I had for the future. And instead of kind of thinking of it like that, I think like let me just do the most I can every day to achieve that goal. And if I do that like day after day after day, then a year from now I'll be there like where I want to be. Instead of trying to think like long term, a year from now, like I want to just be there and not really focusing on what's like happening now. So I think I just kind of try to focus my more short term goals, focus on what I really want to do in the now. And I think if I achieve those, then my long term goals will take care of themselves.
Okay. Keeping that, okay, that's like well said by you, but like, it's so simple to say, okay, work one day at a time, take it slowly. But like, how did you build that consistency and that mentality just to keep doing it? Like, because, people get lazy after a while.
Yeah.
Like, where did that come from to keep doing it?
I think just kind of like I saw like, the biggest thing for me is like I just find different things that are like will motivate me, or like I'll watch the NBA game and you'll see like the love the players would get or stuff like that, or just simple stuff like someone hitting a big shot in the game and the crowd going crazy and you're just like damn, I want that to be me. Or like you'll see D Book, like they'll show a little pregame him pulling up in like a crazy car, and like all those little things motivate me. Like dang, like look at that car he's driving, or look at that, like just look at how like the fit he has on, stuff like that. Like look at like he's iced out. Like I just see those little things and I'm like, dang, like that's motivating to me to like work hard to get there because like that just everything that comes with it is just like cherry on top, you know, like so.
Seeing Baylor and Gonzaga in the national championship, like how did that motivate you?
Definitely, I never played in like March Madness. I really want to. Like I just feel like that, especially like not specifically COVID, but like that's a crazy atmosphere, you know, and upsets. Just, like Oregon State, like we played them all the time, and they made a crazy run to the Elite Eight, and it's like we were right there with them. So we played against so many teams that were just like going deep in the pack and doing well. That I'm just kind of like we're really going like competing against these teams. We're not just losing by like 10. We're like right there neck and neck with them. So it just kind of motivates me and like I'm like we're right there. Like my team's right there. Like that could be us. Like that's how I look at it.
I like the approach you have too, like the short term type of approach, the impatient one, right? Because I preach that all the time. That's kind of how I look at life. Not even kind of. That's what I do, right?
Yeah.
I don't look past 3 years in the future anymore. Right? That's as far as I'll go.
Yeah, and that's hard to do because you never know what's gonna happen. Like it's hard to think 2 years from now, like oh I want to do this in 2 years because you don't know what could happen in those 2 years that may change like that one thing or. For example, just like someone opened a business in 2020, that would have been a hard thing to do. So you just never know like how like what's gonna happen and how things could change. And I think everything happens for a reason, and I just kind of like go with the flow. I think I'm like a very go with the flow kind of person. Like if something happens, I just kind of like think it happens for a reason and go with it. And I think that's the best way to kind of do things instead of like looking at it as a negative. Just kind of staying positive with it and doing the best you can with that situation.
It's easier to stay motivated when you take it day by day too, right?
Yeah,
because like when you look at things long term, it's easy to get lazy.
Yeah, I think the thing is it's harder to. I think a lot of times too is it's hard to start. Like if someone says like say you weigh like 250 pounds, just like my example, like I have to like lose weight, like get in better shape. You know, it's hard to look at yourself and be like, I want to lose 30 pounds. Like that's not even that much. But that's like a harder thing to do. I think when people think of it like that, it's like, dang, like I'm gonna have to do this every day and do this every day, and I think that could like deter people from even starting, because you just think of that whole process like, damn, that's a long process. I don't know if I really want to do that whole thing. Like, I really want to jog every day for like 3 months. I really want to do this every day for like X amount of time. But I think if you just think of it like one day, like let me just jog today, and then I think the biggest thing is once you start it, like it's easier to just keep it going. I think that's like kind of like just like what's that law of like.
Object in motion stays in motion.
Motion stays in motion. Yeah, exactly. So I kind of think of it like that. Like once you start, you already got the ball rolling. It's easy to just keep going. And that's just like physics. That's like life to me. That's like everything. Like once you're going, like it's easier. And then you run one day and you're like, damn, I felt pretty good. And then you see like the change. And I think like once you see that change, like that's even more motivating to people. Like once you see yourself lose 10 pounds, you're like, damn, I lost 10. Let me lose another 10. Then you lose 20. You're like, let me lose another 10. There, you already lost that 30 now. And you're just like, I'm in great shape. Like I'm just keep going now. And it just becomes like kind of a lifestyle. And it just and then like a snowball effect happens, and you're just going from there.
Nice, man.
Hey, man, I'm picking up some game right now. I'm listening because I got a lot of things on my mind that I want to accomplish, especially.
Yeah, so that's kind of how I just
for sure.
I view it.
All right, most definitely. I wanted to ask, like, go back a little bit about your team, or I'm gonna go like talk a little bit about you. What is one thing that you have improved from high school to college that you saw was a weakness in your game?
I think score with my left hand. I don't know if that was necessarily a weakness in high school. I just never really had to do it because like just being bigger than people, you know, like kind of you can do the same thing every time. It's hard to stop. You just so like much bigger, stronger, faster, whatever, you know. But I think being in college, I had to like learn how to score in different ways. Like you're not actually gonna bully someone, like walk him down, bully him, lay him up every time, because like you can do that maybe one time, and be like, okay, like we're gonna stop that now. And then you gotta know different ways to score. So I think using my left hand definitely became like pretty big, because if you can score with one hand, they'll just take that one hand away. I'd be like, make him go left, make him shoot with the left. Like, let's just see if you can beat us that way. And I think for me, that was probably the biggest thing I worked on, was because I could always shoot pretty decent, like get like some right hand jump hooks in the post, stuff like that. And then once I sat on that, being able to like go over the left hand was like my next biggest thing. I think my coaches, credit to them, they really worked hard with me on that, and I think I developed that a lot more. and then it makes it harder to guard because once you can score through their hand, it's like they'll know what to do. It's like we can't force them left, we can't force them right. He's gonna score either way. So and then it makes it, and you're at like your mercy at that point. You can do whatever you want, and I think that makes the game easier. So.
You speaking of high school, like going through league and stuff, like that was pretty easy for you, right? Scoring 30.
I mean, it was fun. We had some challenges for the most part. I think what happened was like I'll tell you, my freshman year was definitely a challenge. That was like the most challenging year for me because I was playing originally with like our freshmen on the freshman boys basketball team to start the season because I just want to play with my friends. You know, coming out of 8th grade, we'd all play together in like middle school, and got to a point like I was just killing on the freshman team, and like maybe like halfway through the year, maybe like a little bit more, like a little bit earlier than halfway through the year, the varsity coach was like, "You're not really getting better on like being on the freshman team. Like you just dominating. Like you want to get better, come to the varsity team." At the time, I'd been like 14, 15 maybe, and then I was like, "Damn, I want to go play against like 18-year-olds."
Quick question: how tall were you at this point?
I think freshman I was probably like 6'5".
Okay.
Yeah, so I was like 6'5", and then he was like, "Come to varsity." At the time, I was a freshman in high school. I didn't really know like any of the upperclassmen like that. Like I was like, damn, like I don't know if I want to play. Like, and then you see the fan. Like now it's not too much, but at the time I was like the games be like crazy packed. I was like, I don't know, like I want to play with my friends still. Like so I was kind of hesitant to go. But then the biggest thing for me was to tell me like you're not like gonna get better playing against competition that you just so much like above. And that kind of really resonated with me. And I thought like, I do want to get better. I guess like the only way to grow is to like face your fears and do what's uncomfortable and push yourself. And I just kind of thought about that. And I was like, if I do want to get better and grow as a player, like I just it's like something I have to do kind of. So I decided to go up to the varsity team as a freshman. And first it was kind of like, every game was kind of like nerve wracking because I was with older people, you're a freshman, everything's so new to you still. Like you're just your first year in high school. High school's new to you. And then I was playing with like seniors and people who, and I didn't know anybody on the team. Like I didn't really know any of the upperclassmen, so it was kind of just me. And it was weird because I literally like finished school, and I think like the freshman basketball game would start at like 4 or something like that, and then JV would start at like 5:30, and then varsity would start at like 7. And I would literally just go watch my friends play and just stay the whole day after school because I was just like, all my boys on the freshman team, so I'll just stay, watch them play, and then like warm up during the JV game, and then go to my game. So it was just kind of weird, like playing with all the upperclassmen. And at that point, everything could be kind of like smooth for me, like in terms of like basketball wise, like playing. It was like I was easy, like able to do what I wanted on the court. And that was the first time it was kind of a challenge for me. I was like, damn, these people are older, like they're faster, and they could dunk. That time I was able to dunk, but it was like I was just barely getting them. I was just a freshman, so they weren't like nothing crazy. And I was playing against people who were like athletic, fast, like 3 years older than me. And it was just kind of like, and, people say like, oh, he's a freshman on varsity, like they want to see something, like, and what's this guy got? Like he must be like something if he's on varsity. So just having that back on my too, kind of always like trying to do something like whether it was like catch a lob or like just do something that would, show people why. So that thought lingered in my mind a little bit too when I was on varsity. So that year was probably like but then after that everything else was downhill because I did it, and I think that was good for me because it was like I had that after year 1 I already had the varsity experience. You have juniors playing varsity for the first time. Like I was a sophomore and I was like I already played varsity. Like I know what this is like. So the next 3 years for me it was just I was like I've done this. It was just at that point like improving and kind of just doing what I wanted to do on the court. So
what about the AAU experience? How was the AAU experience? Like what type of team? What teams did you play for? Like give a little bit.
For AAU, I played with this team out in Oakland called Team Arsenal. I got KP. Yeah, he's a great coach, great trainer. He really knows basketball. And I was playing with my boys. They're from O'Dowd, Bishop O'Dowd. And they were nice. I think 2 of them kind of like committed to the Pac-12 at the same time I did. We had a pretty nice squad. We were on the Adidas Gauntlet, like Adidas sponsored team. So we travel around the country and play all these other like Adidas sponsored teams, and it was crazy. It was a circuit. Like it was crazy because you see people. AAU was cool, and you see people like with the crazy mixtapes. Like, Zion would be like the same tournaments as me, and like Matt. Cool. Yeah, so and it was cool. I liked it. AAU was fun. Those weekend trips. You go to like Dallas or something. You just with your boys in the hotel and go on all these crazy places. So It was cool. Yeah.
Good, but you got something?
Yeah, man. It's like we getting into like the career a little bit. He didn't see it all, damn near. Not really, but hey, a veteran in the scene, right? What advice would you give to someone wanting to pursue a career as a basketball player, right? And like not like because I know you better than to say like, oh, just work hard. Everybody knoes that.
Yeah,
right?
everyone knows
harder than that,
I
right?
think just sticking with stuff, honestly, is like a key piece. And because I know, like, when you start, there's gonna be like in everything you do, there's gonna be rough patches. I'll say just honestly, just stick with the things and like really just like hone in on like if you really. I think in anything in life, if you really like it or you love it and you're passionate about it, you'll be successful in it. Just because like you won't let anything really stop you from working. And I think that's one of the biggest things I'd probably say is like you're gonna have bad games. Like you're gonna have games you probably are like I had games where I was probably like my dad was telling me too. Like I was like, damn, like I didn't do anything, like 2 points, 2 rebounds, and you're just like, damn, like you think like you kind of like get kind of down on yourself with things like that. But like it's just part of it. Like there's highs, there's lows, and I think just sticking with it, throughout the course. Like if you just stick with it and just keep playing, like it doesn't matter if you start in, like let's say you start in 3rd grade and you're like the worst one. Like if you just stick with it, then you'll be successful. And I think half the time, this is what my dad told me too, and you really see it happen throughout the course is like if you just stick with something, half the time people are gonna like weed themselves out of it. Like you say you start in the 3rd grade, right? You got like 2 people on the team. At like probably in grade 5, 2 of them are just saying, I don't want to play basketball anymore. Then maybe you get to grade 7 and 3 of them are like, I'm gonna go play football, I'm gonna play a different sport. And like you're gonna see people just kind of wither away. And if you just stick the course, you'll see like yourself kind of just go. And I think that's what happened with me, you just stay the course and things like that, and it'll work out for you. Just work and stay the course, and I think those are probably 2 of the things at the start. And the sooner you start with anything, the better. I think the piece of advice for me. I think
the sooner you start.
Yeah, the sooner you start. That's with anything. I think too. My dad used to tell me that when I was young, like I find your passion early, and I think that's what I tell my kids. Like, and it's hard because like at 5 years old, you don't know what you want to do with your life. Like
you don't know anything about life. Life is new.
Yeah, I just
like bathroom.
Yeah, I think I was just fortunate because you find something you like, like you find like basketball or skating or like baseball, football. You just find something young and you stick with it. Like by the time you're 15, by the time you're like 20, you'd have 15 years of experience playing that sport, and it's like you found it at a young age. And I think when you're young, it's so much easier to learn stuff when you're young. Like nobody cares that like a 5-year-old can't shoot a basketball. He's 5. So it's just. Like no one's gonna look down upon you for not being able to like dribble or shoot things like that when you're young, and it's definitely easy to like learn, and your mind's so much easier to soak everything up. And I think when you're young, you're just so excited to learn everything and do stuff that it's much easier to start. Like the younger you start, I think you put yourself in a better position when you're older.
Because there's nothing in there, bro.
You
gotta unlearn stuff, learn some new stuff, right?
And it's hard, like if you don't want to be like 14. Like I've seen people do it all the time, but like you don't want to be like 12 years old picking up basketball for the first time and having trouble like trying to like do things. You see everybody else already like shooting, dribbling, like full speed, like they're nice with it, and you're like, damn, I'm still learning how to dribble. You don't want to be like out there looking like that. So I think the younger you start something, the better.
I had a question though. What do you say to those people? Let's say you got somebody pretty decent, right, coming out of high school, right, had some things that deteriorated away from, playing at the level that they want to play at. What do you say to those type of people? Let's say they want to walk on somewhere, right, and like they were pretty decent coming out of high school, played varsity basketball, was good enough to play varsity basketball, good enough to score about 15, 20, points a game, you feel me? What do you say to those people want to go walk on to somewhere and still want to play basketball?
I think that's definitely they should. I think I have a lot of respect for walk-ons, especially on my team. Like everything they do and they face, because you got to think about it like that. If you walk on somewhere, you're not really even on scholarship. Like you're doing all the work as everybody else on scholarship. You're really getting like none of the reward. And a lot of time you have to like do twice as good as the person on scholarship because they're the ones there that got picked there to play. So if you want to play, you gotta. Really, like, it can't be like, they did about the same. Because if you do about the same as someone on scholarship, it's like, those go to the guy that they're recruiting, So you really got to, like, open eyes when you're walk on and really show people, like, okay, Like he's like that. So I have a lot of respect for it though, and I'm all for it. Like I think that everyone should try. Like I think no matter what, you should always pursue what you're like passionate about. So if you want to walk on, and you see stories all the time. People walk on somewhere, they get their couple of minutes. They do good in those couple of minutes, and they get another try, like another chance, another opportunity, and they do good again, and it just kind of goes from there. So I always think too, like you never know what's gonna happen if you like pursue or if you try. But if you don't even do it, or you don't even try, that nothing will come from it. So you walk on, even if it doesn't work out, you walked on, you try, it doesn't work out, like you put your best effort into it, and then you go from there. So.
Well, I was speaking about myself. I ain't gonna cap with you. I was talking about because I'm going to Langston University. It's NAIA, so I feel like I can play at that level. So that's
I'd say do it as long as you can. Honestly, if you like to hoop, just hoop, because then you don't ever want to. I think you don't want to look until like 30 and be like, damn, I should just hoop. Like damn, I should just like you do it now. Just hoop. And half the time, it's like not even really about like what happened. It's just like you're gonna look back on it, but damn, it was hella fun. Just kicking it, just hooping, like practicing.
Mm-hmm.
Like you don't even really care about like everything else that happened. So I think that's my.
Man, you don't want to be regretting nothing at 30 because 30 is about the time everything starts getting kind of fun.
Yeah, you don't want to be like, should just hoop. Damn it. Now, because you can't go back anymore. It's like you're 30. I'm be like in those adult leagues, like trying to.
Oh man!
Like that dude at 24 taking like it's a real game. Like I swear I used to go at 24 hours sometimes. And I'm like, damn, these dudes probably keeping their record stats in here. Like skipping. Like hey, you want to get food? I can't. I got a game at 24, bro. It's not serious like that.
The crazy thing
like that.
Yeah, crazy thing is, we just graduated my senior year, was on pace. I was on pace for like, you feel me? I was hitting up NAIA coaches. They was getting back to me, send me some film. I was like, my senior year's coming up. I'm gonna get y'all some more film. Junior year wasn't like what I wanted it to be. Senior year's coming up. I was like, it's gonna be best year by far. Got injured, couldn't play my senior year. I only played 2 games.
Yeah. Just keep at it.
Keep going, bro.
Yeah.
Let's backtrack a little bit. Why did you start playing basketball? Like, what age did you start playing?
Both my parents had hoop, so they just put a ball in my hand when I was young, and I was fortunate. Like, my dad was an athlete. He played like baseball, basketball, football. My mom hooped. She played for like the Mexico national team. So so they just I'm half black, half Mexican. So
bro, what? Black, bro. That was it.
Long.
Oh, we got a question in the chat too.
All right, we do have a question in the chat. That's Pops. Here we go. Hunter, does he recommend potential D1 players hold back in 8th grade?
You mean like reclassify?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think some people is good for like if they need to. Then I'm like, if you need to, that could be your thing, because then I've definitely seen some people like really benefit from holding back or like reclassifying. They'll come out of high school with like high school. They'll come out of high school, have like 2 offers and reclassify, and then that 5th you do some crazy, pick up like 20 offers. And you're like, damn, like. So I think for some people, I think it's good. It's a good move. I think it just depends on like who you are, how you feel. Like if you feel you're not ready yet, or you feel that you need like an extra year to work or just develop. Because everyone, I think people peak sooner than others. Like especially like athletically, like some people in 7th grade got like a beard, like full beard and everything. So you could be like just that guy's like, damn, like I still haven't even really gone like through puberty yet, going in 8th grade. So I think depending on the person, depending on like where you feel you're at, I don't think it's anything like it's so common now. There's nothing like frowned upon like, oh, this dude, up back. Like it's like everyone, especially if you want to be like top tier, like really work your craft or really be nice. And I think that it's definitely like a good option for some people.
Who shouldn't do that?
I mean, if you're already killing, there's no point. Like
sometimes
like someone doing crazy and just reclass, I think you're like, do you reclass? Like you're a grown man already, get out of high school,
Okay.
Yeah, because for surely there's some people I'm like, bro, you already got like 5, 10 D1 offers. Like,
yeah.
class, bro.
Yeah, like
Okay.
but yeah.
What's a? Oh, what were you gonna say?
No, go ahead. Go
I
ahead.
was agreeing. Yeah, I think.
Okay. All right, here we go, man. What's a common misconception that people have about college basketball that you want to put to rest? You got a shot right now.
Common misconception. I don't know. A lot of times people be pretty spot on. I think a lot of times the misconception though is people see this might just be athletes in general and just be like, "Oh, you're an athlete. You got it made. Like you're an athlete. Like you've done. Like you you don't do schoolwork. Huh? You got someone doing your homework for you every day. It's like, no, we do schoolwork. We go to class. Like that might be kind of Berkeley. So that might be a Berkeley thing, but like it's not just a walking that's like walking like you're not just super easy. It's not made for you. You definitely work. Like I wake up, go to work out from 7 to 8, go to class from like 8 to 10, and go back, work out again from like 11 to 3, and have a class from like 4 to 6, and then that's my day, you know. And you wake up again, you do it all over. So you're definitely working, and
Yeah.
it's not just like you just practice and go home and kick your feet up and do nothing.
Yeah, that's definitely
You
that's
work.
a real one, bro. That's a real. We talked about that. I definitely was. I'm guilty. I thought they wasn't doing classwork and none of that.
Yeah, it's
Nah,
like
bro. They just better than you.
you do work, so like everything's like, oh, you just like you got people like, oh, I need food, come to my house, drop it off. Like, like you just have like
No.
whatever you need, it's just given to you. Like, no, you gotta. Like, don't get me wrong, it's nice. You know, you do definitely have benefits that like some people don't have. You still, I think a lot of times that like the benefits you have are kind of given to you because of how much you do. So it's kind of like they kind of equal out. Like someone else might not be doing as much, they don't have that same benefit, but they might not need it because they're not doing everything you're doing. You know. So, I think that like it's kind of you do a lot. So I think that's a common misconception I'd say for me that people think it's just all
Just all
you
fun.
just, all fun all the time. Like you just run around, you go shoot a basketball, and you just go do whatever. Like no, you do work and stuff.
Regular human being, man.
Right.
I got a question. So, like, you saying like you had like packed gyms and like high school and stuff like that. Moving on to college, having packed stadiums and stuff like that. Like, how did that feel? Like, what type of difference did that make to you?
It's crazy because like I don't really when I'm playing, I don't really like you see it before the game. I definitely played some crazy games. I think we played Duke at Madison Square Garden my sophomore year. And that was crazy. Like, they turn the lights on the court and like the court gets hotter. Like the brights, like the light next to like the bright lights. The lights are really bright actually. So I think that, I don't really you definitely see it like before the game, things like that. I think for the most part, I think it's been the same for me in terms of like how I felt. So, you always like go out, you'll see like a big crowd, you'll be like, dang, like you get that kind of excitement, that kind of like anxious, like you're like ready to go. It kind of like you get a little butterflies, you get a little like nervous, you get a little excited, like just to feel away with things, And then once the game starts, and like you get the ball, you just you go into what you do and you kind of just settle down. And I don't really like see or like hear the fans too much when I'm playing. I just kind of focus. You're so focused on the game, like you forget that like everyone's there because you're just thinking about that one thing like so intensely. So for me, that's personally kind of how I feel about it is like once the game's going, it's like I kind of tune everything else out. I'm just so focused on the game. And like, I think the biggest time during the game when I'd say I hear it is like at a timeout or, at a crucial point in the game, like kind of last minute, like maybe like 3 seconds left, you're up one, tie game, a timeout. That's that one moment you kind of like, you're both quiet. You see the fans going crazy. You kind of like everything stop for that 1 second. You kind of
That's wild, man. You notice there's a bunch of people around at the worst possible times, bro.
Exactly. Sometimes like when you're in MSG, I don't even really like look around. I just kind of like, hey, we're just gonna hoop. Like I'm not even gonna get caught up in like,
don't do that.
Hey, who's all here? Like, stand in the building, just like see everyone in the crowd. Like, no, I'm just like, I'm not even here to see all that. I'm just like, I don't even want to know. Like, let's just hoop. Like, I don't even. Like, everyone's here, but I'm just to cancel that part out. Just want to focus on the game. And sometimes when the game's crazy, I'll do that. Like, but it's definitely fun.
When did basketball start becoming more serious for you?
I'd say right around my freshman or sophomore year of high school. I used to play. I I used to play like baseball, basketball, and football. I used to do like hell sports. So my freshman year of high school, I was playing football, and I actually started getting like recruited for football first a little bit. I was tight end, so I was doing like some college looks for football, but I didn't like that was football is different, man. You got to be a different breed to play football, kind of getting tackled all the time, and just my body was always hurting. Just no matter what I did, like you don't even gotta get hurt. You just get tackled every day, and it's just like on your body. You just always feel sore, like achy, playing football. So after my freshman year, I was kind of like, I was kind of like, don't want to like play football. I just keep playing. No, I got an offer for basketball. I think after I got my first offer for basketball, that's when I was like, I'm gonna just go to college for basketball. And that's when I put everything else aside. I was like, I'm just gonna focus on basketball. I think that was the summer going into my sophomore year. I think I got my first offer, or my sophomore year, right around there. I got my first offer to
what was your first offer?
San Jose State.
Oh, San Jose State. Okay.
Yeah, so after that, I was like, I know I want to college for basketball. I'm just focus on this and really, grind and focus, put all my energy into basketball.
I like that. Yeah. That's what our the guest we had on last night said too. He said as soon as he seen like a fruit of labor, like a fruit come from the labor, he just went all in on it.
Yeah, that's what it. Yeah, so I definitely think it's hard. It's hard. Like, I think cause I was big on like playing multiple sports when I was younger. Like I liked playing it all. I didn't really consider people. It was funny because I didn't really consider someone like an athlete if they didn't. Because I was like, even though like you are, like now my like views on it have changed, but I was like, I thought like you can't really call yourself an athlete if you just do one thing. Because then it's like, I thought like to be an athlete you had to do like, if you played like 3 sports, like okay, you're an athlete, you can do multiple things. Like you can't. I didn't think that you could just be like one thing and be an athlete. But now I'm older, I understand like every game has their own little like difficulties. If you do anything at a high level, like basketball or football, baseball, high level, it's like you're an athlete. Like no matter what sport it is, like every sport has their difficulty, and like in somewhere or another, like baseball, hitting the ball coming at you like 95 miles an hour, that's hard. Like so in football, running and like making moves with people trying to tackle you and hella fast and being strong, that's hard too. So everything has its own little like.
Okay. Here we go, man. All right. So, if you were me or Mari, right, what would you have asked yourself that we have not asked you yet?
Damn. I don't know. You guys are asking some good questions. I'm trying to think. I mean, this is a good part. Probably like, I don't know, like favorite. These would be something to like intro questions, like favorite food, what you do in your off time, like just those types of things. I think are some commonly asked ones. Or like, what do you do besides play basketball? Like those.
What do you do besides play basketball?
Yeah, that's a good question right there.
Besides playing basketball, bro, actually, I go to the movies like probably like before COVID. I love going to the movies. Like I'd go to the movies just to go. Like I don't even really want to see a movie. I just want to go to the movies. I'll just go watch the movie. I didn't really want to see that. I just like going to the movies, like just going and seeing like the movie, like it's just like I don't know, something about that, like. But I hella like movies. Like I always watch movies. Like during COVID, I'll watch like a different movie every night. So I think the biggest thing for that is I like when like they make references in songs, and then I understand it because the movie like they make a reference towards like, or just like when everything references something like a movie or a show or something like that. I like being able to catch on to it. So I'm like, oh, I know what they're talking about. So
nice.
That's dope. Like when they make Rick and Morty lines.
Yeah, exactly. Like a rapper makes like a little like Rick and Morty, or like a Family Guy makes a connection to like an old movie. I like being able to understand the old movie or something like that. So I like that, and I like to watch movies. When I was younger, I used to skate a lot. I used to like to skateboard when I was like younger. Now I'm older, I can't really do that as much because easy to roll an ankle or something. But I just hang out with my friends, honestly. Hang out with my friends. I like to I'll be boxing sometimes, like stay in shape, and it's fun. I'm trying to get into golf, but that's actually tough. So it's just hard. Like I don't have too much free time to do things, but thing right now is to chill, like hang out with my friends, watch TV, go to the movies, just hang out with my friends and do whatever.
Okay. Besides basketball, besides just being affiliated with sports, what is something else that you would like to get into later on in life, or just that you found an interest in?
I like to play the piano actually. Like when I'm bored, it's like an interest. I spend all I'm kind of like interested in it. So I have one here. I took it in high school. I think the fun, like I enjoy doing that because it's fun to me because I like to like listen to songs and then just like Google like because I took it in high school, so I kind of know like the chords and how to play and stuff like that. So looking up different like songs, like Homecoming by Kanye. I like that little like piano riff or that little beat. So I'll like kind of look that up and then try to hop on that and play on the piano. And then it's fun to me like learning it. And then once you get it, like being able to play like that song, that you can show people when they come through, like, hey, listen to the song. They're like, hey, that's kind of clean. So I enjoy doing that.
That's what's up.
Like hopping on the piano, stuff like that. And then after basketball, I just want to. I'm not too sure. I think I want to get into like being a sports agent or like real estate. I think I want to do something that's like working like you got to work with people or like you sell to people or something like that. Like being an agent, you have your clients, you negotiate contracts for them, or getting into real estate and you're like trying to sell a house and you're working with people. Because I think I enjoy talking to people. I enjoy I think I'm like pretty personable. I like meet new people, talking to people. I could talk for like a while. So just building like connections, relationships, people. I enjoy doing that. So definitely I want to have like a line of work that entails that and has that involved with it. So I think whether that's like trying to sell a house to somebody or trying to like get new agents for my agency and get them like contracts and stuff like that. I think that'd be dope. Anything along those lines.
Nice.
So what I'm hearing is you're a big people person. So like when it comes to internet, like how involved are you with like social media?
It's funny because I'm actually not too involved with social media. I think a lot of times the biggest reason for that is just because not that I don't enjoy it or anything like that. I just don't like seeing like too much of what everyone else is doing, if that makes sense to you. I just kind of like to focus on like what I do and like the people around me. And I think a lot of times you get caught up seeing people doing so much of their stuff. You kind of like, I don't want to say naturally you just compare yourself to it, but you just kind of see like, I think it can be kind of like bad in a way if you see like what everyone else is doing and you compare yourself to it. I think at some point, I think I did do that a little bit. Like I'd see someone like maybe in high school posting like, oh, this person got this offer, this person's doing this. And you're like damn, like why don't I do that? Like, why don't I get that offer? Like why don't I get invited to that? Or why am I not there? Or, you just see people doing so many different things and it's possible to like do everything at once or things like that. So I think that a lot of it's like kind of negative, and I think people sometimes will try to like find validation in social media, like how many likes you get or how many people swipe up on us like on your story or something like that. And I just don't really like, oh, that's kind of like fake love to me. I don't really need like all that. And I think sometimes I don't want to, I think I'm like falling victim to it just like to an extent too. Sometimes, you post a video, you're just kind of like worried about like, oh, how many people like it? How many comments am I getting? How many like people are like saying this or like speaking about it and those types of things. So I just think like, I could, like, I don't necessarily like need it. Like I have to like see what my friends are doing, stay in touch with like old high school friends and people I haven't seen necessarily in a while. But I don't like, I don't post too much because I just don't need to like, I don't know. I just don't really need to post like, all that much.
I get what you're saying, right?
So you don't like the attention, basically?
No, yeah, I don't know. It's just kind of like I think like I don't mind the attention. I just don't like I just like to make sure like I just don't like want to compare myself to anybody else. And I think sometimes people do that through social media, or I don't need it to like be validated, I guess is like the best way of seeing it. Like I think that the amount of followers I have doesn't necessarily like equate to like who just because I don't have like 10.5K followers doesn't mean it's like, oh, this dude's not popping, like you still be like, cool. You don't need like 10,000 followers. You don't need all those things to like make you who you are. Like you make yourself.
It's especially easy to be affected negatively by it too.
Yeah,
I don't have a lot of perspective.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing. I think there's more negatives that come with it than positives. So I think that's like the biggest thing for me is I think that for me personally, that's just how I feel. I think everyone else uses it in their own way. And, I'm sure some people may say like, they have more positives from it. Like there's more benefits to it than there are. But personally for me, that's just my take on it. And that's why I kind of, I'm not too involved with it. Like I don't have Twitter. I just have IG. I just kind of, just keep
What do you advise people do to get, what do you advise people do to get around that? Like the negative aspects of it?
Negative. I think that honestly, it's just like you just gotta be like secure with who you are, like knowing like it doesn't really matter like how many followers you have or how many likes you get, or I think people like would try to like have like a facade or portray an image that might not necessarily be who they are, like just for like people to see. It's like if they just post pictures of themselves always in the gym, they want you to think they're in the gym, and it's like, and vice versa with anything, people could post themselves like traveling all the time, just to make people think they want. And I think you get caught up so much in trying to like show everybody else what you're doing and show these other people, and like you're showing, or like trying to not necessarily please the people, but just show everybody else like kind of what you're doing. And I think for me, it's kind of like I don't need to do that. Like I don't need everyone knowing like what Dre's up to. Like I just need to like do it, and that's basically it. Like I don't need to show the world like, oh, this is what I'm doing every day. Like. I just teach myself. I don't think I'm a private person. I'm like people. Like I'm big on like in person like interaction, stuff like that. Like I enjoy being like in public and hanging out with people and going out and meeting new people, and like, I'm on board with that. Yeah. So I just kind of I don't know. I just think that social media isn't necessarily like an accurate way to gauge kind of like who people are. So
yeah, man, because it's like when you don't have a perspective on life, bro, it's easy to be negatively affected by that. Like somebody could look at you, for example, right, and be like, "Oh, man, this dude hooping, or he's like he's going crazy," right? They don't see him up 1 a.m. doing homework and shit, right?
Yeah,
they don't see the aches. They don't see any of that.
Yeah, you don't see the whole story, and you don't know like what people do like behind the scenes or what else. Like people could be always posting pictures and like looking like they're living the life, and it's like they're really not like that, and they're trying to like just show that off. And I think that's why I think I'm kind of just like you never know like what's genuine, what's authentic, and what's like fake and what's not, and just based off that. And that's why I think like I'm bigger with like in person. Like I meet you in person, I can tell like, oh, this person's cool, he's genuine. He's like, what you kick? You're like, I know like he's dope, like he's cool. And I think that's the biggest way of like how I can like tell and meet people is like that. So that's why I enjoy doing it now.
So you're not too big on it, not too big on social media.
Yeah, not too. I mean, I enjoy it. I think like it's fun. I like TikTok, watching the videos, like all that stuff. That stuff's fun.
Okay.
Like seeing the new trends in TikTok and all that. I like to watch videos and stuff like that. But in terms of like, I think personally for me, I'm not too big on like posting, and I repost people like if they cut me or something like that, just to like show them off, like, hey, he's nice, like look at like my barbering cut or something like that. Or if I'm with the trainer and they post me, just like more so like give them praise, like show what they're doing more so than me. Like if I don't post like fit pics, like me like posted up like dripped out, like wearing some Jordans with a clean fit. Like I never post that stuff. It's just I post like just mostly like just basketball stuff, like my highlights, like me playing, just those types of things. I try to keep it like that. I don't try to show off too much or show. I don't think it's like lucky for me. It's cooler to me like to kind of like keep that like little like side, like I'm mysterious, but kind of be like they have like little closed off side, because then like people would come through and be like, oh, I know you had all that. Like I know you had like all those shoes. I know you had all like I know like this is what some people post everything like you're like now I can tell you exactly like what shoes this dude has, what what his room looks like all that stuff, And it's cool to me to like have that little like that stuff to yourself. Like you can meet people, they come through and like, oh, like I know you could do that. I know you could like play the piano. I know he had all that stuff, like or whatever the case may be.
I completely agree with that. I used to be on social media a lot, especially in like middle school. I think it was just like a young thing. Used to post like 30, 40, 50 posts, try to be like whatever. And then now Instagram, now I got 3 posts. I got posts so you can see my face, you can know who I am, you can just know it's me. You feel me? And I think that's all that's needed there.
Yeah, and that's just my view. Like people, I think some people post like their fits, and it's like I think it's cool. I'll take like inspiration from it, and I'll be like, hey, like I like how he was clean, and I'll kind of like. So I don't mind people do it. I think it's cool. Like for me, I just don't post that kind of stuff because I don't think
each his own. Each his own, right?
Yeah, like it's just.
I'm an ambassador for it. I'm gonna be real. I'm honestly an ambassador for it. I'm on my phone all day. Right, that's where the money's at. That's where the girls are at. I'm there.
definitely is pros about it, like meeting new people or like, you know, spreading, like you could definitely like spread like for you guys, like your podcast, you see your people like hop on like IG, see it, or like spread. It's easy for stuff to like spread like that, and there definitely are like some good things about it. And I'm all for it. I don't mind that people who like post a lot, or people who, you know, show off their fish, show off what they got, like show off what they're doing. Like I don't mind it at all. I think like just personally for me, I don't use it for that. So
That's
well,
pretty
I don't-
cool. Okay.
yeah, I don't mind people who do. I'm not like hating on them. Like I don't care what you're doing every day. Like that's, if you enjoy doing it and that makes you happy, then just do it. Like I'm all for it. Like people just doing what they feel they need to do. So
It's pretty interesting to hear you say that, because, you know, like compared to like any other like Division I basketball player, you feel me? They got 100K verified, you feel me?
yeah,
People are praising them. They're posting every other day, like every single day, every single second. And it's like when it comes to you, you look at your page and like, you don't know what this guy's doing. You know, you see he's a college player, cool guy, you feel me? But like, they don't know besides that. So I
And that's the biggest thing. Yeah, I think a lot of times when I do that, I kind of see myself like getting caught up in it sometimes. It's like, oh, like, you know, you'll post a picture, you'll get like, you'll see like, dang, I got like a cool amount of followers, something like that. You'll see, you'll kind of see that. You'll kind of like not make that your target for success, but you'll see like the attention that comes with it. And, you know, it feels good. So you kind of always want that. And I try to keep myself like away from that, like knowing that I don't need that to. Because then you think about it, like, what if social media dies out, you know, and it's like Instagram, because everything kind of like comes in waves or whatever. And, you know, what if Instagram's not hot no more and you're not popping on Instagram? You don't want to feel like damn, like, who am I now? Like, people aren't like praising me like they were. Like, I don't have the people reaching out to me or all the attention I got from social media. So it's kind of like, I try to keep myself like, that's not the praise I need. Like, if I can hear from like the people I'm close with, my friends, and I try to keep it like that, because, you know, as many people are going to tell you good things, always people like going to tell you bad things. And I think social media, you know, people are going to tell you, they're going to build you up there, they'll also tear you down. So that's why I try to keep like a level head, and I understand like the tension that comes with that is great, and also like I kind of take them both ways. You know, like I take the good with the good and the bad with the bad. I try to keep like the opinions that matter and the people close to me, I kind of just take in what they're telling me. So, you know, if they think if I'm doing cool and they're the ones like telling me I'm doing good, then I think I'm like, no, those are like the ones that like I kind of like try to hold my, like, those are the people I try to please, like not the 1,000 people on Instagram, but like the ones close to me. Like if I'm pleasing them and doing right by them, then I think that I'm good. Like I don't need to please the 2,000 or, you know, whatever, how many followers, you know.
Well said, man.
Got
We
it.
do understand that you are the time limit, right? So before we do that, is there anything that you want to ask us?
No, man, this was dope. Thank you for having me on. Definitely.
No questions for us?
Again. No, not too much. You guys, I think I actually feel like I made you guys want to start the podcast before this. I know we had chatted a little bit and things like that, but it was fun. I enjoyed being on here and everything we talked about.
Oh yes, sir. Man. Appreciate you for being on here, taking time out your day. It's been great having you on here, man. You really did your thing tonight.
Man, most definitely. Thank you.
Okay.
So,
I still got questions, but I'm gonna just leave them. But it's okay.
yeah, I know. I still got quite a few questions too. I ain't gonna cap with you.
All right.
Honestly, man, it was fun. I mean, I'll hop on. You guys need me again sometime. Just hit me. You know, I'm more than happy to hop on. I enjoy, you know, just talking, and it's fun.
Yes, sir, man. Hey, man, appreciate everybody who watched the podcast tonight. The chat, you know, pretty active, man. We appreciate all the questions that were asked. Pat, you got anything else?
Nope.
All right, man. This has been a Don't Overthink It podcast, starring me, Young and Head,
Patrick Haynes.
and our special guest, Andre Kelly, in the building, man. It's been a great episode. We're gonna catch y'all later, man. Peace.
All right, everybody. Oh, actually, one more thing. If you guys want to support the podcast, we started a Patreon today, right? So go ahead and do that. I had to. All right. And other than that,
I always end it.
all right. Other than that, yeah, that's the podcast, man.
Catch
All right,
everybody.
you guys. Peace.